Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. The country is watching and waiting as we head to the Senate hearing of Rigathi Gachagua's impeachment after majority of the National Assembly members of Parliament voted to condemn him to becoming a civilian. But as this is happening, there's a lot of tension because William Ruto's side is leaving no stone unturned. Rigathi's side is also doing everything they can. In fact, as we speak, Rigathi had filed another case with the High Court trying to block a Senate from hearing and debating on his case. He has also written a very urgent letter to CJ Martha Koome that Martha Koome should constitute a bench so that his case should be heard before it gets to the Senate, because he's arguing that if this case gets to the Senate, then it will dilute anything that the bench will do. If, for example, Senate debates and votes and the verdict is that Rigathi is going home, then Rigathi feels that the bench decision will be null and void, because he will be heading to that bench at the Supreme Court level with the status quo. And the status quo here would be, he has been impeached. It would be very difficult for the courts to overturn what both the National and the Senate, the National Assembly and the Senate have decided upon. There is also that fear that the Senate, however much we feel they are independent, they could as well go back to their bosses. That is Kalonzo, Ruto, Raila, and even Uhuru Kenyatta, just to find out how they should vote. We know these people. It could be tribal and party-based. But as this is happening, we all know that one of the people who is going to test or testify against Rigathi Gachagua is the Nairobi Governor, Johnson Sakaja. There's this video that people are saying that it is one of the leaked videos that Sakaja Johnson is going to play in the Senate. And this video is one that I believe is even haunting one of Gachagua lawyers, Lawyer Ndegwa. Lawyer Ndegwa is one of the very sharp lawyers that we have in the country. We've seen him cross-examining witnesses during Kawira Mwangaza's impeachment, and is one of the very lethal lawyers that Ruto's side really fear. But there is this video where Lawyer Ndegwa was hosted in one of the radio stations, and back then I think Rigathi Gachagua was at loggerheads with Maina Njenga, and you see Lawyer Ndegwa was Maina's lawyer, and he took that opportunity and deconstructed Rigathi Gachagua. He gave sentiments that were to the effect that Rigathi is not fit to sit in any office. And this is the video that the Ruto team have decided to unleash on social media. When you look at social media, it is over. It is going viral because they want to dilute the people's minds. Kindly check this video.
The former member of parliament for Mathera and the former DO, who has a very bad history among his people, beginning with what he did in Limuru, and beginning with the excerpts you have seen that he even stole relief food in Laikipia.
No, but can we focus on the president?
What can people in Mount Kenya region identify with the former DO? Reforms,
tea sector, dairy sector, coffee sector.
It's misery, persecution, thuggery, theft, gangster attitude.
But you cannot do that unless the blessings of the boss.
That's the only attitude or attributes you can accord to the former DO. Mr. Rigathi Gachagua has outlived his usefulness.
You can say
he has become a political garbage. The fact is, Mr. Gachagua, the former DO, the former member of parliament, is a political failure. Look, he's waiting to rock the boat within so that he can think that he can get sympathy. That's what he's doing. We are past that nonsense of emotional political sympathy. We are looking at the real issues.
You know, I watched this video and I was like, why now? if you look at the communication team around William Ruto, they are releasing this video, and it has been trending for 3 days now. This is the video that has been trending, because I believe that they want to influence, they think that this can influence the mind of the Senate, that, you know, even the lawyer himself does not believe in Rigathi Gachagua. This is what he's saying. And someone was also telling me that psychologically, they are trying to create a rift between the lawyer and the client. But then, I want to believe that before Rigathi went for Ndegwa, he knew that all this had happened and all this was politics. So I don't think there is anything wrong there. And I was talking to one lawyer whom I wanted to understand whether this can really influence the decision of the Senate. And he was telling me that what will be in the Senate will be a case against that case against Rigathi Gachagua. It does not matter what someone said or what. What matters is, does the case meet the threshold to impeach a deputy president? That was telling me, period. He was telling me there's nothing much. Oh, what this was said, that was said, and all that. He was telling me that they will be looking at the constitutional threshold of impeaching a deputy president, and knowing very well that they are standing on an historical period where it will be judged in years to come whether they did the right thing. And then they're clinging, you know, the Rigathi's team now is clinging on any iota of hope that is available. There is this video where the Nairobi Senator, Sifuna, met Rigathi Gachagua in a funeral. And he told Rigathi, "You are not my friend, we've never met before." And he was telling him that, you know, sometimes when you talk about the shareholding thing, you sometimes create enemies. But then I have realized that we are now suffering from the same problems. Because back then, some of the Mount Kenya farmers were claiming that in the Finance Bill 2024 that was passed, there was a 5% kind of tax on avocado. And they even chased KRA officials who went there, I don't know, to train them on how to use e-teams and all that. And Sifuna was telling Rigathi Gachagua that there's no enmity. We are suffering from the common problems. Bring back this Finance Bill 2024 into the parliament so that we can discuss it. Now that Rigathi is claiming that, you know, one of the reasons why he's being ejected is because he rejected some of the very outrageous and unpopular decisions in the cabinet, they're clinging on this hope that Edwin Sifuna will vote to save Rigathi Gachagua.
Asante sana, Naibu wa Rais, Mheshimiwa Rigathi Gachagua. Mheshimiwa Naibu wa Rais, mimi siwezi jiita rafiki yako, ukweli tu. Sisi sio marafiki, hata leo ndio mara ya kwanza tumepatana hapa. Lakini nataka kukuambia mimi sinanga ubaya na wewe. Hakuna kitu chochote ambacho kinaleta uhasama. Hata huyu rafiki yangu hapa Kagusha juzi alisema kwa TV kichwa yangu ni kubwa sana. Mheshimiwa Naibu Rais, na unajua mimi ni Mluya. Sasa alikuwa anataka nifanye namna gani? Sisi watu wa Luya kila kitu ni kubwa. Ukiangalia size ya kiatu nimevaa, uangalie kichwa, uangalie mapua, kila kitu ni kubwa. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Naibu wa Rais, ile mambo ambayo ilikuwa inatuletea tofauti, mimi naona ni kama inaenda ikipungua. Kwa sababu nilifurahi sana, nilisikia juzi hata wewe mwenyewe ukasema ya kwamba mumeangalia wakati ya implementation na mswada wa fedha mwaka uliopita, implementation ya ile taxation ambayo umeweka. Wananchi wenu wenyewe wanawaambia kuna mahali kiatu kinawafinya, wanataka turekebishe hiyo sheria ya ushuru. Haswa wale wakulima wa avocado. Ama nilisikia mambo yangu, walisema turekebishe. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Naibu wa Rais, nataka kukuambia wakati ambapo mtafanya marekebisho kwa huu mswada, kwa sababu ile kelele yote ulikuwa unasikia tunapiga, ilikuwa kwa sababu ya kusema kwamba kuna masuala ambaye tunaweza kuangalia turekebishe. Utaleta hiyo mswada, mimi na Kagusha huyu ako nyuma yangu, tutafanya ile mabadiliko inahitajika ili wakulima wetu wasiendelee kungangana. Ile mambo mengine ile ilikuwa inafanya tunaleta tofauti ni vile ulikuwa unasema watu kama Sifuna hawana shares katika hii nchi. Lakini nilikuja nikasikia wewe mwenyewe ukasema ya kwamba lazima ili tujenge nchi, kila Mkenya ajisikie kwamba yeye yuko ndani ya serikali hii na yuko ndani ya nchi hii ya Kenya. Tukamalizana na hiyo maneno. Kwa hivyo mimi sina ubaya na wewe, mimi nakutakia kila laheri.
And it has really formed a very strong debate. People are wondering because, you know, Sifuna even when they were reading this motion in the Senate, he refused to second it when some members of parliament wanted it to go to the committee level because Sifuna wanted this to be discussed holistically by all members of the Senate. And Sifuna has been at loggerheads with this thing called Adani deal. And many people feel that he is opposing his master, he's opposing Raila Amolo Odinga, who seems to be working very closely with the government, even though they keep on denying it. Even today, they're still telling us that they are not in government, but we can easily read the signs. Signs, are conspicuously and boldly written on the wall that they seem to be working together. So people are asking, do you think Edwin Sifuna, based on what he said, that they are suffering from the same and common problems, do you think he can vote for Rigathi Gachagua? Because when you hear people, they say that Sifuna, Okia Mutata, PC Senator Richard Onyoka, they have a feeling that even Cherargei could make a paradigm shift and vote, to impeach, to save Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua only needs 17 senators, and that could be very easy to get only if they decide to be very independent. But independence of politicians is something that is not very easy to get because they were elected on a ticket, and those parties belong to certain Kenyans, and so they have to listen to them. So, ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot of drama, hopes and maligning and reviving of videos, but we wait and see whether this is going to happen. People are crossing their fingers. If the Senate will not save Rigathi, then Rigathi has got faith in the court that he will be saved. But others are also saying that William Ruto has every institution in the pocket, whether it is parliament, the judiciary, DCI, talk of even the DPP, that everything is under control. And this is the reason why Kenyans are crossing their fingers to see, because Madam Martha Koome, since 2021, when they threw away the BBI and with the wild goose chase kind of ruling, and when William Ruto threatened the judiciary, she did come up to protect the judges. It was a kind of, she was coerced to do it. And they went for a meeting in State House, and people really feel that they enjoy a kind of cordial relationship and they will rule in favor of William Ruto. I don't know, but let's wait and see. For the video that they're reviving, I know even Ndegwa himself regrets that video, but that is politics. Even Ruto and Raila said very many things against each other, insulting each other, but they're now working together. That is our politics. Today's friends becomes tomorrow's enemies, and today's enemies becomes tomorrow's friends. Very dynamic. The only two things that remain permanent are betrayal and interest.